One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that if a trailer looks safe, it must be legal. But that's exactly where people get caught out. A missing brake, the wrong mass, or a badly fitted breakaway cable can stop your journey before it begins. In this video, we'll look at what the law actually says about towing, the offences people are most commonly prosecuted for, and why these rules matter if you're moving caravans, tiny homes, or equipment onto land. Living on the road, waterways, or off-grid in the UK, Dickie Dread. And we're on part 36 in the video series, and in the book it's chapter 4, driving laws and navigation laws. And today we're talking about towing. Towing, more relevant than people think. Towing laws are often treated as a niche concern, but for those living off-grid or transitioning onto land, they become central. The rules depend partly on when you obtain your licence. Those who pass before the 1st of January 1997 can generally tow combinations of up to 8.25 tonnes. Those who pass later were originally more restricted, but this changed in December 2021. Now, most drivers with a Category B licence can tow trailers up to 3.5 tonnes without needing an additional test. However, this does not remove the practical constraints. Trailer width is limited to 2.55 metres and length to 7 metres for trailers towed by vehicles up to 3.5 tonnes. Trailers over 750 kilograms must have functioning brakes, and all trailers must be properly lit and display the towing vehicle's registration. Speed limits drop when towing. 60 miles per hour on the motorways and dual carriageways, 50 miles per hour on single carriageways, and the right-hand lane of multi-lane motorways is generally off limits. These rules matter not just on the road, but in how people move structures onto land. Caravans, tiny homes and trailer-based builds all pass through this legal space at some point. Many people overlook it until something goes wrong. One of the most important and most commonly misunderstood parts of towing law concerns braking. If your trailer or caravan has a MAM, remember that's minimum accessible mass, a MAM of 750 kilograms or less, it does not need its own braking system. These are known as unbraked trailers, and they rely entirely on towing vehicles to slow them down. Once you go over 750 kilograms MAM, the rules change. The trailer must be fitted with its own braking system, usually an overrun braking system that activates when the towing vehicle slows. This is where many people get caught out. Most caravans, even relatively small ones, exceed 750 kilograms once loaded. The empty mass might look acceptable on paper, but the legal limit is based on the MAM, not what you happen to be carrying on the day. In addition to brakes, a brake trailer must be fitted with a breakaway cable. This is a safety cable that activates the trailer's brakes if it becomes detached from the towing vehicle. Without it, the trailer is not road legal. As with much of this chapter, the difference between what people do and what is legal can be significant. Trust me. It is not uncommon to see overloaded and poorly equipped trailers on the road, particularly in informal or off-grid settings. But if anything goes wrong, it is the legal standard that will be applied, not what everyone else does. So towing, the things people actually get done for. Most problems with towing don't come from big dramatic mistakes. They come from small assumptions. Someone thinks a trailer is light enough, or that a quick run down the road doesn't count, or that what farmers do must be legal. That's where people get caught out. Weight is the first issue. It is not that what the trailer weighs on the day that matters, but its MAM. If the figure is over 750 kilograms, the trailer must have its own braking system. A lot of small caravans and plant trailers cross that threshold very quickly once loaded, even if they don't look particularly heavy. If there are no working brakes where they are required, the vehicle is not road legal. Lighting is another common failure point. Trailers must have working brake lights, indicators and reflectors, all correctly wired to the towing vehicle. A loose connection or faulty board is enough to get you pulled. It sounds minor, but it is one of the most frequent roadside offences. Then there is the breakaway cable. On any brake trailer, this must be properly attached so that if the trailer detaches, the brakes engage. Simply looping it over the tow ball or leaving it hanging is not acceptable. If it is not fitted correctly, the trailer is not compliant. Overloading is everywhere. People load trailers based on what looks about right, but enforcement works off plated limits. If your trailer or towing vehicle is over its rated capacity, you can be prohibited from continuing your journey on excuse me, on the spot. Carrying peoples in trailers, don't do it. This is one of those things that gets treated as harmless in travellers' rural settings, but the law takes a very different view. Carrying passengers in a trailer being towed on a public road is not permitted. There are extremely limited exceptions for specific agricultural fairground operations, but these are tightly defined and do not apply to general use. If you are towing a caravan, people must not be inside it whilst it's being towed. Same applies to any flatbed, box trailer or improvised setup. If something goes wrong, there is no protection, no restraints and no legal defence. People still do it, especially over short distances or within convoy-style movements, but if you're stopped, you're likely to face prosecution. More importantly, if there's an accident, the consequences can be severe. Animals in trailers, legal but regulated. Animals can be transported in trailers, but this is not a free-for-all. The trailer must be suitable for the animals being carried. That means proper ventilation, sufficient space, safe flooring and secure containment. For livestock, additional welfare rules apply under animal transport legislation, including limits on journey time and requirements for rest, water and handling. Loose or unsafe transport is where people get into trouble. If animals are at risk of injury or the trailer is not fit for purpose, enforcement can come from both police and animal welfare authorities. Again, key differences between what is commonly seen and what is legally acceptable. A quick move between fields might feel informal, but on a public road, the full standard applies. So, towing isn't just about getting from A to B. It's about making sure every part of the combination meets the legal standard before you set off. And as we keep saying, if you're trying to live differently, this isn't just about trailers, it's about understanding how the system works before discovering it the hard way. In the next video, we'll look at motorbikes and scooters, the freedoms they offer, the extra risks they bring, and the legal rules that apply. So we'll be on Chapter 4 still, driving and navigation laws, and we'll cover motorbikes and scooters, freedom, exposure, and the law.